Third, in our presentation today, we'd like to speak a little bit about our mini top dresser. The mini top dresser was developed about 12 years ago, and today we're using a compost material, naturally feeding and breaking down the soil. This material is now screened to about 6 to 8 millimeter particle size, which is acceptable for lawn turfed areas, and is usually readily available, easy to handle, easy to manage. One of the nice important thing about this type of material is it comes already with moisture. If in fact we're wishing to do a top dressing in the middle of the season or a very warm climate, there's no fear of drawing out the turf. Sometimes if we use sand, pure sand top dressing, which we do need for drainage, at a very hot climate, by placing the sand on the turf, the fear of desiccation is much higher because the sun is going to heat that sand up and dry the plant out. So today it's rather sunny and bright and rather warm, and again, with the soil conditions I've got here, I prefer this type of top dressing. This machine has a delivery drum in it, which we can see, and to regulate the depth of the material, there are a couple of ways of doing that. We have a brush that's regulated at the front, that is the distance between the tip of the brush and the tip of the roller. As we advance it away from the roller, of course, we will allow more material out. It's important that that drum deliver the material as evenly as possible on the pass so that we get a smooth and complete covered area. Furthermore, and we'll cover this when I get a little less in it, we have a rear calibration plate that wobbles. This vibratory plate calibrates the amount of material that the drum will take away. It also vibrates should we get moist material that tends to bridge in the hopper. We've placed it on 4 pneumatic wheels to make it very easy to maneuver. To stop the flow, we just raise the machine slightly on the rear wheels because the front wheel drive is what is driving the drum itself. The handle is adjustable for different heights, and we do have a lifting handle on the front for loading. I'm doing the pass where we open the soil up with that fracture tine aerifier. Let's see how we do. Done 3 passes there. Now today we're not quite putting down 1/4 inch of material, which is recommended in some cases. If I was going to calibrate the machine, I'd take it out to a perfectly smooth area. I'd set the front brush. I would take a complete pass and then measure the depth of the material. This is also allows us to calibrate, given an area versus 1/4 inch of material, what the cost of that material will be. So once we place that material down, to float it in well off the stalk of the plant, because it's of no benefit laying on the leaf, we want it settled down to the throat. We also want it to start leveling the lawn area. So today we have flexible drag mat with a center pull rope. You'll notice that the mat, when pulled, has about a foot rise. The action that's created with this mat and its length causes a swirl effect, which floats the material off the plant down to the throat, to the surface, and also levels. So let's go down and back with the drag mat and see if we can level and make it disappear. I'm going to go 2 directions as a double pass. You'll see it's floating it down nicely. disappearing. It also stands the grass fiber back up. It restores that lawn area that we scarified and aerified this morning. One more pass on the outside. I'm going to do one cross-check just to exemplify the fact that sometimes a 30-degree cross-check is advisable as a finished pass. Now I'm matting this morning by hand, and you can see the trail grain. So one of the nice effects of matting is the fact that when we leave the lawn and we did opposing directions, we'd end up with a very nice patterned or striped lawn, as well as this material floated into where it should be. There's no fear of it tracking children playing on it after, or animals. Let me just reverse the mat and see if we can pick up a cross pattern to stand the grass up in the opposite direction. The mats do roll up for storage quite nicely. This mat happens to be 4 feet by 6 feet. And should be stored away so no damage.